when you're buying hardware components, it's important to go with brands that are reliable and that you can trust. And I have some experience with this. So let's start with some of your basic components. Let's start with RAM. RAM is super important, as we already talked about. And my recommendations in terms of brands for your RAM are going to be Kingston, G.Skill, and Corsair. There are a few others that I could recommend, and I'll leave that in the description below. But those are my go-to brands in terms of RAM. The Mac, when I did the upgrades, is running Corsair, and that's been doing very well overall. I highly recommend them. I've used G.Skill in the past successfully, and I've also used Kingston, and I use them for other things as well, and I recommend them for your SSDs. And speaking of which, if we want to go into SSDs, I recommend Kingston. I recommend Samsung for that. Corsair makes those as well. And I would say them and Western Digital are good. In terms of traditional spinning hard drives, I usually go Western Digital and Seagate for mine. That's what I recommend there. In terms of motherboards, AROC and Asus, you can't go wrong. Gigabit as well. Those recommendations are from personal experience and also from the gaming community. Gamers beat the crap out of their machines as much, if not more so, than graphic designers. They're always running hot. So I definitely would think about that in considering how you build out and what brands you go to. The brands and the builds for gaming machines are comparable to what we use in creative services, whether it's graphic design or video editing. So I would go that route. And that's who I recommend. For motherboards, Asus, AROC, and Gigabit. In terms of cases and cooling, I'm a fan of Coolmaster. There are some other brands I can recommend, but my go-to for there is Coolmaster, and I don't think you'll be disappointed with them. Some of their build outs in terms of those things can be a little pricier, but they're definitely worth it. And they do have some that are in the bargain shopping category, so don't be intimidated by that. When it comes to cases, I also recommend buying your case, your cooling, and your power supply from the same brand, the same company. That just tends to work out better overall. You certainly can mix and match, but that's just my personal preference, is to go with all of them from one company in that regard. In terms of video cards, you're probably going with AMD, ATI Radeon, or NVIDIA. I prefer NVIDIA because they are what Adobe recommends, and they are in the Adobe hardware recommendations for design, for video editing components, etc. So I know that they work well with the Adobe products. I know that Adobe's OpenGL and OpenCL are set up to work with them. They do work with AMD as well. So just make sure that you're getting a card that's OpenCL, OpenGL certified, and you'll be good to go where that is concerned. Remember, I said that graphics cards don't matter as much, but just make sure you're doing the right things there. So those are just my personal experiences with different brands and recommendations that I've got from trusted sources and research that I've done. So if you have different brands that you want to recommend for different reasons, let us know why you recommend those brands in the comments section, or you can feel free to reach out to me and let me know, and we can have a conversation about it on Twitter at Roberto Blake on Twitter. Having the machine that you want, that's custom to your needs and to your personal taste and your favorite brands, etc., and that you know is going to be reliable, can give you a lot of peace of mind. But again, if that's too much hassle for you, you can definitely just buy something off the shelf, and you can use the recommendations and the specs in this video to just get something that's appropriate to your situation. And if you don't want to build this yourself, but you still want a custom machine, you can definitely contract somebody to take care of that for you in the tech community, and they'll be more than happy to help you. And they love getting shopping lists like this. They might make some recommendations of their own, and feel free to take their advice, but use this as a guideline. This is not the absolute authority on what a Photoshop machine should be. This is helpful advice to steer you in the right direction until you're ready to draw your own conclusions based on experience. Again, if you have questions, I'm happy to answer them in the comment section below, or you can tweet at me, Twitter at Roberto Blake, and I will answer as many questions as I can, and I will do research if I have to, and if you need links to different things to buy, I will give those to you. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it very helpful and informative. I hope it wasn't too technically overwhelming for you or boring. If it was, I apologize. You can read more in depth if you would like to at my blog, robertoblake.com/blog. Just look for the article, Building the Ultimate Photoshop Computer 2015. For those of you who are looking for the budget version of that, it is coming soon. I will probably have it up this week, just pending some final things that I'm putting together on it. Anyway, like this video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out the other awesome content on the channel. As always, you guys, thanks so much for watching, And don't forget, create something awesome today.